What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So typically on my Lucid videos, I like to go over data points and updates like that. But in this specific video, I want to go over 3 reasons why Lucid is a buy right now. So I'm going to go over all those. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off, it is Lucid's expansion. So whether it be over across the States or in Europe, Saudi Arabia, or even more recently, China, Lucid is targeting all the necessary areas that have a massive amount of demand. And of course, that makes things so much easier, whether it be from a sales point of view or a marketing point of view. So I think Lucid is hitting the nail on the head by targeting all the necessary areas that have a good amount of demand, like I said, more specifically Norway. So I've done a dedicated video to that. I believe it's around 85% of all of the vehicles registered in Norway are EVs. So like I said, it makes things so much easier for Lucid to come into an area that already has a huge amount of demand. And as I brought up in the past, so this kind of shows on a scale, like I mentioned about China, for instance, up 54% just year over year. And this is car sales. And China, there's already a massive amount of demand. I think that they are #1 in the world. And then there's Europe, up 38%. And then the US is up 68%. So there is a huge amount of demand out there for EVs, and Lucid is targeting all those areas. And better yet as well, if you actually look at the transcripts from the Q4 earnings, they laid out everything for 2023, what every quarter is going to happen. And they did also talk on as far as the international deliveries starting to take place in Q2 of 2023. This video right here kind of does show that in Saudi Arabia, there is a lot of Lucid vehicles that's clearly just awaiting customer delivery. And in reality, I do feel that is why there was a little bit lower for numbers. So these are the Q2 production and delivery numbers. So 1,404 vehicles being delivered in Q2. Some people weren't necessarily happy about that, but I think based on that video that I just showed you, I think that kind of puts in perspective and kind of answers a lot of people's questions. The fact that it did actually deliver a lot of vehicles internationally, but they weren't necessarily done to the customer. So they didn't really get that check mark essentially. But once again, I think that is going to roll over into Q3. So potentially the deliveries might far exceed the production, but you never know, right? Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. So this is reason #1 I feel is a good reason to buy Lucid, is because of its expansion and the massive amount of demand that they're trying to target. So moving on to point #2 though, the good old PIF. So the PIF has always been there for Lucid, and in times of financial distress or whether they just need money, the PIF has been there to support, whether it be recently the 3,915 million, I think it was in December 15th, 2022. So the PIF has always been there. No matter who you talk to, whether it be a bull or the bear, there are several different things that they can bring up and bears can't really argue, and one of which is the technology and how Lucid vehicles look. The second one is the PIF. So having the PIF supporting Lucid, having Big Brother behind them, is very advantageous. So as you can even see, the PIF right here has 1.1 billion shares, and this is last recorded on March 31st. So once again, I feel like this is a huge deal. And even though Lucid's stock price is very volatile, it'll go up, down, sideways, but knowing that the PIF is behind them, that in times of financial distress, potentially in the future, whether it be because of a recession or whatever else it might be, having the PIF there is very, very good. But once again, that's just my own interpretation of that. And finally, point #3, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but it's Lucid's technology. So that's once again something that bears cannot really argue, is just how amazing Lucid vehicles truly are. And you can tell that by even looking on Lucid's websites by their awards. I think they actually, before they even started to ramp up on any form of production, I think it was in Q4 2021, that's when they started to first get their awards coming in. So it's kind of very surprising, but 2023 World Luxury Car. And so this is from World Car Awards. Newsweek gave one, US News and World Report, 2023 Best Luxury Electric Car. There's 2022 Driver's Choice Award. There's a ton of actual awards out there for all of Lucid vehicles. And just scrolling down, there is a ton of them. So of course, when it comes down to it, Lucid's technology, as what Peter does say on a lot of the earnings, and of course I'm sure he will continue to say, I think on August the 7th, when the upcoming earnings are going to be. But I feel that Lucid's technology is just amazing. And of course, that's one very good reason to buy, because a lot of companies that can produce a ton of vehicles, aka Polestar, their technology is lacking, and technology costs a lot of money. And we recently know that about the whole Aston Martin kind of deal that recently came out, right? So Aston Martin clearly found it advantageous to have a licensing deal with Lucid. That way it does save quite a lot of money. So once again, I feel like that is a very, very good thing, especially as well. This recently came out, I believe it was today, in fact. The fact that the Sapphire is actually going to be starting to be produced, because they did say, I think it was late summer to September, that time frame, that's when they're going to be starting to have deliveries. And the Sapphire is literally the definition of Lucid's technology all wrapped up in one. And of course, I think going back to some of the words, majority of these are because of the Sapphire. So again, those are my 3 points why I feel Lucid is a very good buying opportunity, and a lot of which is long-term kind of points. So for instance, their expansion, that's not going to come overnight, but they are, like I said, especially China, they are targeting those areas that have a huge amount of demand. The PIF isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So again, there's that point. And then when it comes down to Lucid technology, yeah, they might license it out in the future and get some more revenue, but still people would be doing that because of Lucid's technology being the best. So once again, that's just my own interpretation. Let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Let me know if I missed any points that you feel would be a good reason to buy. So why do you like Lucid, or you not? What's your kind of viewpoint on that? Like I said, I think a lot of people very much focus too much so on the actual stock price. So when it goes down at these points, they hate Lucid. During this, it's euphoria, so they absolutely love it. A lot of people just focus too much on the actual charting versus the fundamentals behind the scenes. So again, that's just my own interpretation. Like I said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Take advantage of this promo with Moomoo, link in the description below and also the comments. It's free to sign up for an account, plus they give you free level 2 trading and $0 commission. But if you throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000 and also a $50 cash reward. So this is literally an amazing promo, link in the description below and also the comments. So take advantage of this while you can. But with all that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.